Talking Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the YouTube channel where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Now, let's go, baby. Now, today's special guest, my special guest is a cosplayer. My special guest is a party princess performer. My special guest is a bilingual kindergarten teacher. This is the one and only Leah.
Hi there. Thanks so much for having me.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being on here. So, we're just going to dive right in. And my first question is, how did you get into in the business of party princess performer?
So this is one of my favorite stories. I had always wanted to work for Disney. I always knew I wanted to be a princess performer working for Disney. But the audition process is an absolute nightmare. It is a 3-day audition process, and you can get booted on the first day if you have even the wrong face shape. So I've been looking around in the areas for something similar, and I came upon a princess group in my area. Talked to the owner. She had me do a little audition, and she hired me right on as Elsa. And I had done maybe one or two parties before she said, "Hey, I really want you to do a parade." And I said, okay, sounds good. So I did their citywide holiday parade. I was a grand marshal. And as you can tell, I have really, really dark brown hair, and I play Elsa a lot of the times. So she paired me up with a girl who I had met one or two times and said, this girl has this really good spray that's going to make you like hide your hair. And so I go over to this girl's apartment, and she's like, here's the spray. It's like silver. It's not really blonde. And she starts spraying it on the back of my hair. And she's like, how's it going? And I go, is it supposed to burn? She's like, no. So I went into my very first parade with a chemical burn, but this
Ooh.
girl ended up being my very best friend in the whole world. The company ended up going south. So we decided to open our own company. And we've been rocking on for about 2 years now, and I couldn't think of a better person to be doing this with.
Oh wow. That's amazing. Sorry, man, the burn. Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
Like,
My skin was like all red, and I just had to keep, smiling and waving. And that was probably one of the craziest events I've ever done.
and with that process, now, I was thinking about, and I seen a lot of your videos on TikTok, and I love my favorite ones are always the ones where you tell the backstory of different scenarios that you've been in. And so it had me thinking, so when I was a child, I
Mhm.
was hyper. Like I was that kid bouncing off the wall, left to right, forward, backwards. You know, I mean, I was just a ball of energy. And so I remember I had a family relative who dressed up as Batman. And
That's
now,
cool.
yeah, yeah, it sounds cool until the little kid version of me was like, wait a second, I know who that relative is. And you know me, I was so hyper. I was jumping off things just to take off the mask.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
my question is, from when you first started to where you're at right now, how did you get good at handling certain situations when maybe the party might go not the way you would hope, or maybe that
Mhm.
child's just in a different state of mind? Like, how was you in the beginning, and how are you right now in those scenarios?
So I feel really lucky that I also work as a teacher, so I'm able to handle a lot of these situations. I've definitely had some parties where the kids weren't super interested in. My most recent one, the parents had actually just left the birthday cake out on the table for anyone to grab. So these kids were coming up to me just with like handfuls of cake in their mouth and frosting. And I just work really hard to redirect them or do things to try and get their attention. So I'm like, okay, friends, now we're gonna play a game or we're gonna do this bracelet making activity. So it's a lot of just redirection, thinking on your feet, and working as quick as possible. My favorite kids to work with personally are the really shy kids because I feel like once you get that connection with them and once they finally open up, you just have the most magical moments with you. And those are the kids that remember it for the longest and they just think it's the greatest thing in the world.
Awesome. I'm not in I couldn't do that. And I applaud you every day. But like, when I go to like Comic Cons and I dress up,
Mhm.
whether it's Batman, Spider-Man, the Green Power Ranger, you know, I get the little kids that want to come up, hug me and stuff. I think the only one that will never happen is when I dress up as Link from Legend of Zelda. I think that's the only one kids don't care about. But that's okay. That's okay. That's just the person in me. But what advice would you give somebody who's starting out where you were at in this business?
Oh gosh, I am actually planning on making a video about this. My advice is to kind of follow what you think is best because in the Party Princess community, everyone's coming at you with opinions. Your dress should look like this, your wig should look like this. If you don't pose this way, then you're not doing it right. If you don't do the speaking voice, you're not doing it right. You have to kind of go with your gut and what you think is the best because other performers and companies' opinions of you doesn't matter. It's what the kids and what the parents think of you at the end of the day, because they're the ones paying your bills. The kids are the ones that you are making the magic for. If they believe you and they're like, that's Ariel, that's Cinderella, then you're doing something right. My other piece of advice is you don't have to worry about getting these $1,000 dresses and these $1,000 wigs. Buy secondhand. There's so many great pages on Facebook that people are selling secondhand costumes, secondhand wigs, where you can get higher than Halloween costume quality, but still stay within your budget.
Oh yeah, because even cosplay can be expensive. Like, oh man, and I've been through the loops. Like, man, like I totally get it. And for you, what are the if you probably have a lot, but if you could just name the three that you dress up a lot as, what are the three princesses that you dress up as?
Always Elsa. Everybody loves Elsa. She is not my favorite princess to play, but she is well loved, and I put my heart and soul into that one. I definitely dress up as Ariel a lot for the kids and as Cinderella. So
Awesome, awesome. Do you
they're
do
come.
the do you do the one uh in the Cinderella movie where she didn't have the nice dress, but she wore like the maid's like a maid outfit?
Yes.
You
I
do?
do have that one. It's not been
Awesome.
requested yet, but that's one I bring with me to conventions.
Awesome. That's awesome. And do you collaborate? I know you mentioned that you have a friend, but do you collaborate with any males that do like the prints of certain characters?
We have not had a request for any princes yet. But if a male wanted to join us and wanted to do the princes, we would be more than happy to have him come on. Or even if he wanted to do superhero characters like Spider-Man.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And what's your favorite Disney princess that you grew up watching?
Cinderella, hands down.
Cinderella?
That was the movie I watched the most as a child. When we would go to Disney World, I would want to meet her. And I just think her story is amazing, just overcoming adversity. And everyone always likes to say, "Oh, she only did this for a man." No, she just wanted to go out and have a banger party. So
Yeah.
she's got goals, and I love that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mine is my three my always my three that I always like watching is Tiana from
Hmm.
Princess and the Frog, Mulan, and Jasmine from Aladdin. Like those are my three favorite Disney princess. Just they're kind of like Cinderella,
Hmm.
like they're different, but they're independent. They're really good at what they do, and
Yeah.
they show that their value and their worth is much more than what the mean evil stepsisters, or for Jasmine what her father thought, just overprotecting
Hmm.
her, or Tiana, who that one's my favorite story just because of the culture of New Orleans, of course,
Yeah.
and the what and what year it was where somebody of her and that ethnic had to go through, and the struggles. It really, I mean, it's just such a impactful story. And of course, Mulan, she just, I mean, she can
A
fight.
warrior.
I mean, she can go, like she can throw hands, like. But what and you kind of answer it, but what keeps you going and motivated to keep doing that as a Disney princess performer?
So I always say I'm not in it for the money. And I give mad respect to other companies and other performers that are in it for the money, because that's really important. For me, having my teaching job, I'm allowed to do this as a side hobby, but it is making these memories for the kids, making Disney available to kids that maybe can't afford to go there. And just giving back to my community. I spend more of my time connecting with other businesses to volunteer with them rather than to get paid gigs. So right now I'm working with a domestic violence shelter in my area. I work a lot with the YMCA. I'm doing a lot of school visits in my district. Like I think we get more out of volunteering with kids that maybe don't always get to see the princesses or don't have those opportunities than doing a princess party. I love doing the birthday parties. I think they're really fun and I really enjoy them, but it's the volunteer gigs that have my heart.
Awesome. Speaking of volunteers, I did some digging, and you made a video called Lasagna Love. And I just want you, if you could just explain to the audience what's that about and how long have you been part of that?
Yeah, so I just started out doing Lasagna Love, and what it is you reach out to the website, you do a little application talking about where you're located and how often you're able to make lasagnas. You get matched with someone in your area, whether it's your city, your town, your municipal. And it's for people that are going through hard times. Maybe they have a sickness in their family, maybe they just lost somebody, or maybe they just need a little extra support in their life. And you make them a lasagna and just kind of drop it off. And I just think that's a really nice way to help out your neighbors around the area.
Awesome. My mother, she's Italian, and so her making lasagna is like I know what it's like, and I know see what it's like to make from scratch. So if you could share, what is a style of lasagna that the way you like to make it?
Um, I am half Sicilian as well. I use my grandma's recipe because she's no longer with us, but it's just a nice way for me to connect with her and kind of keep that lineage going. I did have a request for cottage cheese instead of ricotta, and I didn't get to try it, but it was pretty much the same consistency, just without that ricotta taste. So that's something people could try is using cottage cheese.
Oh yeah. You know what? I think my mother's used both before in different scenarios. And spicy. She loves making spicy. Like
Ooh.
But yeah, I don't get. She won't tell me her secret recipe, but when I make lasagna, I do it the store bought way. But I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But watching you make that video and I saw that, it really inspired me. And I love to just be part of the community as well. And you know what? I would legitly really break it down, learn how to make a lasagna. Because I think that's a group I want to be a part of, this lasagna love. I definitely want to be part of that. Because if I can just make at least a medium sized dish and just give it to somebody, like that'd be cool. Like, I that's that really I really tugged my heart because I was like, man, that's just I like when people help other people, and seeing you doing this is just very inspiring with that. And which leads me to my next question is, what do you think about the current Disney projects, like live action films with some of the Disney princess right now? Like from Beauty and the Beast to Jasmine to Snow White to The Little Mermaid. I get it. It's a different generation, and I want to make it clear that I like the actresses who played these characters, and I think they all did a wonderful job. And I think that even like the Snow White movie, like I liked it, and I thought the actress who played Snow White, and I apologize, I did not look up her name, but I think she knocked it out the park. And to me, there's little girls who are watching that, and it meant more to me. So I support all that.
I like that take. The actresses, I think they all did the best job that they could with what they were given. Personally, I think Disney's lazy. I just think back to all the ideas that they had that were totally out there, from Sword in the Stone to Atlantis to Treasure Planet. Like, we should be making more movies like that because those were amazing storytelling movies. I think it's good that they're introducing these movies to a new generation with new faces. Like, I love that they used Haley Bailey, I believe that's her name, for Ariel. I think she did an amazing job. And I love that we have the opportunity for kids to see a mermaid that looks like them, because nobody has fire engine red hair like our original Ariel, but it's really important for kids to see that representation. But I think Disney can do a lot better than just rehashing some of the same stories that they've done before. I would love to see something like Treasure Planet again or Sword in the Stone.
Ooh, yes, yes. Now you know what? Because I realized that the characters that you dress up as, and I don't know if you ever heard of the Disney and Pixar theory connection theory.
Yes.
So the one that stood out to me, because and it's really ironic that you dressed up as these characters. So well, let me just, for the people who don't know, there's a theory that the movie Frozen, Elsa and Anna's parents are the same parents to Tarzan, but also that in the Little Mermaid, the prince is related to Anna and Elsa's, I think, father. And
Hmm.
and it's the same ship that
Yep.
had to go across where the Little Mermaid would be at, and then crash where Tarzan's at. I just want to know, in your opinion, do you believe that? Do you think Disney has secretly set that up? And how do you feel about that theory?
So I actually was talking about that with a child I was visiting with when I was playing Ariel this week. I was like, "Oh, did you know that the ship that's in my movie is Elsa and Anna's parents?" And Rapunzel and Flynn Rider go to Elsa's coronation in the first movie. You can see them in the background.
Oh
I
yeah.
think some of their things are a little far-fetched. Um, but I do really like some of the ideas, like in Merida, the idea that the old witch is Boo, who had time traveled back to find Mike and Sully because she's got the little Easter eggs. I kind of believe it, but if you think back to some of the 90s movies, they left hints about their upcoming movies. So in Nani's room in Lilo and Stitch, she's got the poster of Mulan.
Yep.
Um, Belle's walking through a different movie. I believe in Beauty and the Beast, somebody is shaking out the rug from Aladdin. So I think Disney just likes to put in all these little Easter eggs, but I love all the fan theories that people talk about.
Oh yeah, and I like the in the Disney movie Hercules, you see Scar, the body of
Yes.
Scar as a rug, or not a
Oh, I think
rug,
that's
but the
hilarious.
that's crazy. Like,
That's a very fitting fate for Scar, if you ask me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I man, that's it. I love those theories, and I remember when the book came out, and this guy made a book. He talked to like some of the few at the time that was still around, a few people who were part of that era and stuff, and even who knew Walt Disney himself. Like,
Mhm.
it's just nuts that from that era to now, like it's still like people are still discovering, like, wait a second, like why in the movie Brave is this door there and that door is in Monster Inc. Or like
Yeah,
in Monster Inc. where not Bigfoot, what's the one that lives in the snow? A
the
Yeti.
Yeti.
Which my favorite part is he made snow cones in the cold. Like, he just proves that snow cones are good all season. Don't matter how
Yeah.
cold or how hot it is. A snow cone is always going to be good. But I'm like, man, like he could be in the place where Elsa and Anna, in theory, is like his location is the same place where Frozen's at, like
Yeah.
Olaf and all that. So I was like, oh, that's different. Never saw that one coming, but
I would love if Disney did like a Smash Brothers thing where they all just came and duked it out with each other in different like Disneyland. So like Elsa and Anna are fighting Hans or like Scar in a mountain in Arendelle. Like I would buy that game immediately.
oh yeah, you know what? I think they would. I think they would. Like, Disney's so good at cashing in when it needs to.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're so good at making money.
Speaking of games, have you played the Disney Dream Valley before?
I have. They marketed it as kind of an Animal Crossing game, which I really liked. But it's a very interesting mix between like Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon and almost like a My Sims type of game.
Yeah, just Disney edition. And
Yeah.
you know what? I was a little hectic, but my friend, she got it and I watched her play it. I was like, "Oh, okay, I want this cuz I can get it on the Switch." And in which usually do get it on the Switch. That's my game
Mhm.
console right there. But I played it and I was having fun because, again, I like Animal Crossing. Harvest Moon, I was more an Animal Crossing guy myself. Sims, you know what? I got banned from Sim from my mother a long time ago because, yeah. But you know what? That's why you shouldn't have cheat codes out there. But Animal Crossing was a good game, and what I like about Dream Valley, it felt like an adventure because you had to
Hmm.
do stuff. Like, you had to go to here, you had to help Wally, you had to plant, you had to go here, and then like the DLCs, I think I got almost all the DLCs, including the Star Wars one, which is my favorite one so far. But I mean, I like the outfits and the Mickey Mouse gear. I mean, and it's relaxing. Yeah, there's times I was stressing out in that where because there's a part where you got to go up to this big castle and there's like multiple doors, and
Yeah.
the stress level was just too much for me. But you know, trying to help Donald Duck was a pain, but I helped him out. I got him. But other than that, it was relaxing. Like, I think that was one of Disney's not it's one of Disney's top five best games that they ever made or had somebody made. But I really like that
Mhm.
game so much. Um, did you complete it all, or are you still kind of like here and
I'm
there?
still chipping away at it.
And
It's a nice little pick up and put down game.
oh yeah. What do you like doing the most in that game? I personally like the collecting all the cool outfits. But what do you like to do on the most in that
Farming for items for sure.
game?
Because
That's the grinding part.
I'm someone that when I play video games, like if I play in Legend of Zelda, I'm like, I need to hoard all of these rupees because what if I need these rupees or what if I need these bombs? So I'm
Oh
very
my
much
god, yes.
everything that I need and not use any of it ever.
And speaking of, because there's another thing I discovered that you cosplay. You cosplay Samus, aka Metroid Prime. And my question is, have you played the games before? And what made you
Yes.
want to cosplay that character?
Um, I love Samus. She's my main in Smash Brothers. She's so much fun to play. I love her games. I just love that kind of her mission is just point, shoot. Doesn't matter what it is. Get rid of it, get the space pirates, get rid of Mother Brain. I'm all for it. Like she is a woman on a mission. She gets things done.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I love those. The games on the NES and the SNES are super hard, but they're really fun to play. I do like the rewind feature on the Switch because I'm not good at video games, but I have a lot of fun with them. I just think she's really fun to cosplay because she's just very like serious. And a lot of the characters that I play are very like bubbly and smiley and everything's rainbows and sunshine. And she's just like, no, screw that. Like, I don't like you. I have a job to do.
Yeah. You know what? I don't understand why no Nintendo, Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto, I don't realize why he don't commit more to that character. I think like she's such like you know what? Honestly, they can make a movie out of that with her. Like
Yeah.
I mean I would say Anna Taylor would be a good choice
Oh, she would be.
and or Millie Bobby.
Hmm.
But you know, the one my favorite Mitch game by her is Metroid Prime 4,
Yeah.
which was no, the one on the Nintendo GameCube. That's the one. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I got the latest one on the Switch, but I like that because yeah, don't get me wrong, I love the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy SP, the Game Boy or the Nintendo DS, but that 2D sometimes scroll is too much for me. But what I
Mm.
like about the 3D one is you can move your camera left, right, up and down. And obviously it's in 3D, right? But I just like that story and that one feels more intense when those monsters or alien species come get you, especially the ones that
Hmm.
fly and wreck your whole life levels on that. Like, but that's such a fun game. Is
Hmm.
there besides the Disney princess, is there a princess within like the Nintendo world or outside of Disney of a princess you would like to dress up one day?
So I am going to be debuting at KitsuneCon my brand new Sailor Moon. That's
Ooh,
my girl. I love Sailor Moon. I have a brand new wig for her, new costume, everything. I love Sailor Moon. So that's my other girl. If I could cosplay, I know my best friend and I want to do a Peach and Daisy together, or even like a Peach and Rosalina would be so much fun to do.
awesome. I cosplay Mario and Luigi and soon to do Wario and Waluigi.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, the Mario one's pretty fun and yeah, you know, I'm really excited for the Nintendo Switch too.
Mm.
I saw that Super Mario World and to see like Princess Peach and Princess Daisy, and what's the one from Galaxy? Ooh, what's her name?
Rosalina.
Rosalina and Pauline. No, no,
Mm,
Pauline's in the Donkey Kong game, but I'm glad that
yeah.
they're showcasing her more, them more, and I think that's just it. Just helps like kids enjoy it, like all kids just
Hmm.
enjoy it. So I really appreciate those characters like that.
I I've been watching my favorite YouTuber, Steven Plays. Him and his wife are going through Mario Kart World right now. They stream on Twitch every Fridays, but they release their VODs, and it's so much fun getting to watch them do like the knockout tourney, the Grand Prix. Like, it's really cool to watch. I have no plans to buy the Switch 2 right now, so it's nice to kind of live vicariously through them and see the games.
Oh yeah, for sure. Same here for me. I'm gonna wait till like maybe next year. Maybe next year. I need more games out.
Yeah,
Now
for sure.
you mentioned Sailor Moon. Like, are you a fan of any other anime?
Yeah, so I really enjoy Delicious Dungeon. I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. Oh gosh, what else? Evangelion. I'm gonna get crucified for how I pronounce that. Um, First anime was Ouran High School Host Club, so definitely like a low-key fan of that one. I want to get into watching more anime, so if you have any good recommendations.
Oh girl, like I can give you a whole book of it. Like and just on Netflix. Like there's some real good anime. But for
I know there's
me,
one that was it's a lot of like the entering another world as a different character. There's one about someone who turns into a vending machine.
yeah. Gosh, I forgot the name of it, but I seen it on Hulu.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's what I need to watch.
this character is actually a blob and it gets reincarnated to different things. But he ends up becoming a sword. So it's like a
Ooh.
reincarnation story and stuff. But I pretty much like the same thing you like from Dragon Ball. Uh Not a fan of Naruto. That's because I'm more of a Dragon Ball, but I love Sailor Moon.
Hmm.
I do like Attack on Titans and Sword of Art Line. That one, if you
Hmm.
never seen that one, it's so worth it. Like,
I was watching anime back in the day. I feel old now, when it would be like 20 parts on YouTube and they were only like 10 minutes long. Like that was how I used to watch my anime.
same here.
I would pirate all of the Ghibli films. So I'd be like down in my parents' basement, like giving the computer a whole bunch of viruses, but I'm like, I gotta watch Totoro. I gotta watch Totoro.
There's one I recently watched. It's called the Hero Shield,
Mm,
and so it's like the Hero Shield is the weakest one. Like it's the boring. Like it's not like Captain America's shield. It's just
yeah.
a shield. And this woman in a different universe claims that he did some things to her which was not true, and the whole
Jeez.
kingdom turned on this guy. And he had to start from the bottom. Like, imagine playing an RPG game and you got to really
Mm.
grind. Like, imagine you refused to buy the DLC and you just grind. Like, that's what this guy had to do. And there's one, I forget the name of it, so I apologize to everybody. But it's about this kid who goes to a wizard academy, but he has no magic, but he's super strong. And
Ooh.
he's just strong, and he's kind of like Goku, kind of a ditz, kind of like his
Mm.
brain's not there, he can't focus, and he's always eating. But it's a really good one. If next time I'll send you the message about. But I I really think that's cool because I love anime so much, and I think that's cool that we live in an era now that parents and their kids be like, "Mom, Dad, I wanna like I want to see an anime character at my birthday party, and that's like, I hate to be the gatekeeper, but I was kind of like, well, I want to share that to everybody, but I think that's just
Mhm.
so neat. But would you, and you say you are, but like, would you dress up as the other members from Sailor Moon in the future?
If someone wants to send me money so I can afford all of those other cosplays, I would do the gamut.
Okay, okay. We gotta get you a PayPal or something, get you started. I recently saw this woman. I forget her name, so I apologize everybody, but she made a Power Ranger Sailor Moon and it was the Green Ranger. So
Oh,
it's
that's
like
awesome.
it would be like your outfit, but all green, but with the Green Ranger's little shield symbol. And man, I whoever made that, man, that's so creative. But when you do that, do you like to create your own, or are you more of like I'll buy some, maybe you're a little bit of both?
I do like to create some of my own stuff. I do not have a sewing machine. I know how to sew, so like my goal one day is to get a sewing machine and like be able to start making my own cosplays and my own dresses. But I go with a couple commissioners every single time because they've put out amazing work. They know me, like they know my measurements. They know exactly what I want, and they kind of make my visions come true.
Awesome. Yeah, like I haven't found the right person yet to be that person I go to and always spend money on because my size can be it's gotta be my arms are longer than my legs, my head's bigger than it's just so much. So it's a lot, but I I always tell people like if you can find somebody that you can become good friends with and get that, I said go for that because sometimes getting online, it's like a guessing game. It's an expensive
Hmm.
guessing game.
It is a
But
very expensive guessing game.
but you know, I have a Deadpool costume, but I found somebody who can because I just need the sleeves a little bit longer, just up to the wrist, just a little bit, because I show too much skin right here. So but I've luckily found it, but it's a learning process, I would say. And what have you learned in your experience with all your costumes of like how you take care of them? Because you work with a lot of kids that, like you said sometimes parents just leave out little square cakes and the kids are just grabbing like
Kids are sticky. Kids are really sticky, and it's a lot of mysterious sticky. Even when I'm teaching, one of my kids will come up to me and give me a high five, and I'll be like, "Why are you wet?" And they'll just look at me and they'll be like, I stuck my hand in the toilet." And I'm like,
oh,
"Cool. We're all gonna
cool.
wash our hands now." Um, I hand wash all of my cosplays. So my secrets, not even secrets. We shouldn't gatekeep like how to clean our cosplays, but wash them in your bathtub with lukewarm water. If you got any stains, it's Grandma's Secret Stain Remover. You can get that on Amazon or Walmart. I always use scent beads, so it gives it that fresh little scent. And then any like free and clear laundry detergent, just use like a little bit because we're always using way more laundry detergent than we need to when we're washing our clothes. But letting that soak for about 15, 20 minutes and then letting kind of patting it dry and letting it air dry smells like you just got it dry cleaned.
And what about when it comes to wigs? Like you know what? I love your wigs because they're just so, to me, they look like the actual hair of those characters. So I don't know what everybody was talking about, but I like the Ariel hair, and all of it. It's so amazing. Like I have a Superman wig and I struggle trying to keep that thing. I do the classic way where you brush his hair back. It's such a
Mhm.
pain. Like I'm like, oh my God, it just won't stay. But you got it
Um,
down.
So my wigs come from Blondie's Boutique. She does amazing high quality work and she doesn't charge that much. But I always recommend getting like an actual wig block head, brushing your wig out even if it's curled after every single use, because that's how you keep it nice. Invest in a good steamer and just kind of watch some wig care tips because I've learned how to tease wigs. I've learned the best way to curl wigs from a lot of TikTokers and YouTubers. Like the if you want to learn and you want to style your own wigs, the information is out there, and you have to be okay with messing up again and again and again.
Yeah, yeah. You're all gonna get it
Content
right.
is real.
Yeah, yeah. Now I also noticed that you cosplay as Spider Gwen.
And
What do you like about that character so much for you?
again, she reminds me a lot of Samus. She, kind of came from losing her best friend, Peter Parker, and, having to hide her secret from her dad. Like, sh I love strong women in our media. The princesses, they're all strong in their different ways, but like actually strong superheroes, I love them.
And have you seen the Into the Spider-Verse films? And what do you think of
Yes,
them?
I think they're amazing. If I could cosplay as Peter Porker, I would.
There you go. You can. Trust me, you can. There's ways. Is there a comic book like you may have read or saw on YouTube or something that you like from a Spider Gwen that interests you a lot?
I haven't gotten into the comic books. That's kind of my plan for this summer is to, find them online or try and read through them because I love to read. I've been blowing through like 6, 7 books a week this summer. So any form of literacy media, I'm all over that.
Because I like the Into the Spider Verse Spider Gwen. That's really cool because it's very diverse. But story
Hmm.
wise in comic books, I always like the one that you mentioned about her losing her best friend Peter Parker. But I also like the part where Peter Parker becomes the lizard in this
Yes.
one. And I like that story so much because it's a different take of it, obviously. And her abilities and her costume's always good. You know the one I like? I like the one with the hood, right? I always like
Yes.
that one. But there's one that sometimes it's you see her hair, but she has the spider face, and you
Mhm.
kind of see her mouth, like the mouth of it, like a cow. I always like that because it kind of reminds me of like a luchador type thing.
Yeah.
And I always like when she wore like the Nikes Air Force or
Hmm.
Air Jordans too with her style. That was always one of my favorite ones. And they have not yet put that in the cartoon or in the Sony or MCU yet. So I haven't seen
Yeah.
that design.
The first movie they had her in ballet flats, and then the second one they changed it to teal Converse. So that's kind of what I go with because it's really comfortable.
Oh
I
yeah.
I did Spider-Gwen for my school for their last day of YMCA program, and there was a lot of jumping on tables, which the kids were really excited about. I'm not the most flexible person, so I'm working on like being able to do cartwheels and back bends. But it was a lot of jumping on tables.
Oh wow. You know what? When I do spy if I go to like Chicago Con, that's my little Comic Con. If I go there as Spider-Man, I gotta do backflips. Gotta do the backflip. I gotta do the superhero landing. After I do the backflip, I gotta do the side flip. But sometimes when I get lazy, I'm like, oh man, this is the 20th kid. I get lazy and I just do a cartwheel and kind of get there, but it make it look like I did a side flip. But yeah, it's like, woo. Can't do it forever, everybody. Can't do it forever. But
There was a
yeah,
time I was doing a pose and it's like she gets real down low with her poses. And it was like the 10th time I was taking a picture and I just felt one of my muscles pull and I was like, all right, Gwen's gonna do some standing poses now.
there you go. Is there any other maybe Marvel character or DC characters that you would like to cosplay in the future?
Mm, not that I can think of. I don't watch as much Marvel as I probably should, but I know somebody just commented that I need to be Android 18 from Dragon Ball, and I was like, all right, we'll do that one.
Yeah. You know what? Let me see. If I had to pick one just for you in Marvel, I would say Captain Marvel would be an idea.
Ooh.
And I would say, man, I don't want to get in trouble with the audience, but like She-Hulk, She-Hulk would work.
Ooh, that one would be fun.
I know. A lot of people don't like the show, but I like the show. I had no problem with it. You can't really hate on Megan Thee Stallion. Like,
No,
you,
you can't. I thought it was a weird choice having them like twerk at the end credits, but I was like, all right, I like it. I do like Megan Thee Stallion.
yeah, because I always tell people like, if you read the old She-Hulk comic books, you knew they couldn't do what she did in the comic books. Because what she did in the comic books was too adultish, way too adultish. And I understand that she's been in a lot of relationships from the Juggernaut to
Mm,
Iron Man to Johnny Flames from the Fantastic Four. Like, I get it, everybody. But like, guys, this is Disney Plus. This is
yeah.
little kids watching it. Like, they don't need to know those old comic books. Like Stanley, that was bad, but I still love Stanley. But I knew they're gonna have to change her up. They're gonna have to clean her up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But they kept the good elements. I mean, the more important elements of the character is she's a Hulk who can control the anger, not like Bruce
Hmm.
Banner, and she didn't have to put the brains and the bronze together like spoiler alert, like Bruce Banner did in Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
And but so she can control this a lot better than her cousin Bruce. And that to me says more about who she is as a person, like, and she's a lawyer. So
Yes.
she loves to argue and she's gonna win. So I like that. I like that about her. And you know what? I hope like Marvel keeps using her. I hope that they put her in Doomsday, Secret Wars that's coming out. I think Doomsday is coming out first and then Secret Wars. But I think like the female characters in the MCU and the Sony verse, I think they did really excellent jobs with them. Like Spider Gwen, like I knew that character existed, but not so cool to see people who don't like, who don't want to read the comic books. Totally
Yeah.
understand, like, but to want to see, but now they have a high demand. So I want to see her, or I want to see this. I want to see this girl in here. Like, it's so cool because these are characters that have existed since comic books existed. Literally,
Mm.
like a She-Hulk, a Black Widow, a Miss Marvel, a Spider Gwen. They've been existing, or like recently came out is Ironheart, which is the character's
Yes.
name is Riri Williams. She's been existed in the comic books, but it's so awesome to see these female characters come to the screen and they're part of the MCU, which it makes it more exciting and to see somebody just and she's from Chicago, everybody. Like, so that means a lot for me because I'm from Chicago. But I get it. I get it. It's weird. Like we got the pizza, but that's a different debate. So I think that's cool. But um just the final four questions I want to ask you before we end this.
Yeah.
So the the you told me the type of teacher, kindergarten teacher, or what advice would you give somebody who wants to get into that? What are something like you wish somebody told you, but you can tell them right now?
Your first year is going to be an absolute dumpster fire, and it's okay.
And what's a mistake in the beginning that you wish you avoided, but you tell other people to avoid when they do party princess performing?
Um, oh, that's tough. Check your wigs before you go out. Like just like double check to make sure everything's like your dress looks okay, your hoop skirt's covered, your wigs are good, and your makeup's good. Like have another person look at you and go, you look fine. Because when I went out for my first party, nobody did that for me. And I look back on pictures and I'm like, oh, I left the house looking like that. Oh, somebody paid me and that's how I looked. Yikes.
And question number 4, what one law would you make that everyone had to follow? What would it be?
I really think the law of treat others the way you want to be treated should be a legitimate law because if you treat other people with kindness, you know, it's good to receive kindness in return and we're not going to get anywhere hating people and being horrible to other people.
Awesome. I like that. I really do like that. And just for fun, the final question, if you can live anywhere in the Disney world and you can be that particular princess, who would it be and what is that land called?
Um, I would I would be Cinderella in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I don't think they ever like gave a name to her kingdom. But like that's who I'd be princess wise. If I could pick anywhere in the Disney parks, it would be the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, nice, nice. Disney, you know what? If I did a print, if I could be a prince, I definitely want to be the prince for like Tiana, like,
Oh yeah.
and live in New Orleans at that time. I love, man, it's so good. And then Disney park theme, man. Okay, I'll do a Disney one. I definitely would want to do like, oh, the Disney villains. If they
Oh
do
yeah.
one, I want
They
to
are
do that.
making Villains Land.
Okay, yeah, I want to go there just because, wow. And then just for fun, I'm definitely going to that Marvel area. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
Star Wars. But thank you so much. I enjoyed this. Um, where can everybody follow you at? Where can they keep up with you? You know, give it away.
So the place you're gonna find me the most right now is TikTok. I'm at Spicy Dumpster Fire. The username on there is Baba. If you watch Gravity Falls, then you know. But yeah, that's where I do most of my posting. Most of my cosplays show up there. I do update like advice for party princesses. I do Spanish translations. So if you want to learn how to speak a little bit of Spanish to the kids you work with, my stuff is there. Sometimes I post little education videos, but yeah,
Awesome, awesome. And real quick, how many language do you know how to speak?
I speak two pretty fluently. I wouldn't say I speak English super fluently, but I sure do try.
Okay, nice. Well, thank you so much, guys, and thank you for being a part of us as a special guest here. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace